Happy Friday, class. So today we're going to talk about how to find articles or books or items in the library resources when you have the full citation. So you see this in a couple of places. Occasionally professors, especially in upper level classes or really especially in grad school classes, if you're planning to go onto your master's or your doctorate degree, will tell you are to go read this article, and instead of providing you the article, they provide you with the citation for the article. Other times you might be reading through another article and it references a different study and you're like, that sounds interesting. Where do I find the full text of that? I think I have said it before and I'll say it again. One of the easiest ways to find more information on your topic is to look at what other people got their info. So look for what are their citations, what references are they having in their articles, and then you can go look those up and you have another really strong academic scholarly article, scholarly source that you could use in your paper and that can beef up your research. How do you actually find those, though? I think most students' immediate inclination is we're going to type this into Google. You're going to copy and paste the whole citation, and that might bring up the article. More than likely, though, it's going to ask you to pay for it. So trying to find full text of things through Google is not the way to go. You want to come to the library. Now, since in the past 10 years, library resources have become more Google-like. Primo is a pretty easy way lots of times that if you copy and paste the title of the article, so we're looking at this one of Chasing Foxes and Russian Folktales. I don't know why I had foxes on the brain today, but here's our examples of just copy and pasting that article title into Primo. Make sure, also, if you're ever searching, we sign in. Signing in is important. It does get you the full text. And lots of times by doing that Primo is so Google-like, it's so natural language driven, it's meant to use the same search skills you're using in Google, that will come up quite a bit. So that's a really easy way to access that. However, I have been researching and trying to help students find specific articles, or I'm looking for things for myself, and been trying to copy and paste articles into Google or into Primo, and they don't come up. And I can't really figure out why they won't come up. Sometimes if I copy and paste this big, long, really complicated scientific research article and put the whole title in there, it won't come up. But if I put the first 5 words in, it comes right up to the top. So what's happening there is we're freaking out the search algorithm, which is far and beyond more detailed computer coding skills than I have. And so I just kind of I don't know why, I just go with it. Other times, if you put things in quotation marks, put them in quotation marks. So remember, we're doing that exact quote or exact phrase searching. Other times that will help it come up immediately as well. And so it's bringing you the specific items. Sometimes though, I've seen it not come up at all. And students often think, oh, well, that means we don't have it. And that's not really the case. Primo is not a perfect search engine. It has its own weirdness in searching, and every now and then certain things get left out. And so just searching by article title in Primo is not necessarily the best way to find out if the library has access to this journal or to this article. The best way to do that is to come to Primo and go up to this tab up at the top and do a journal search. So to help you think about this, think about, instead of finding an electronic PDF copy of it, think about how would I go about finding this article in paper? If this was 30 years ago and the internet did not exist, how would I go to the library and find this article? Well, if you come into the building, we don't have like paper copies of things lying on the shelf. Articles are housed within journals. So you want to know if we have the journal. You're looking for that. Remember our little Russian doll example of mama doll versus little doll? You're looking for the big mama doll. That's how things are organized. So what you're wanting to know is, does the library have electronic or sometimes print access to the journal specifically, not just to the article? If we have the journal, especially if we have the volume, date, and issue of the journal you're looking for, we're going to have the article. So searching for things. So coming back to this article, this was in the Canadian Slavonic Papers. So you can then papers, and lots of times it comes up with that. And so you see, we do have access to the journal. Click on the title in Primo, and it is then going to show you where do we have access to this. So this is where you can come back to that full citation of, this is in volume 60, issue 3-4, published in 2018. So if you're looking at these though, some of these have limitations of where we get access to. So you have these date ranges underneath the database. We have this journal in multiple databases, but not every database has access to all of the issues. So some of them have limited ranges. So like this Arts and Humanities database only has from 1996 to 2017. This EBSCO MLA International Bibliography has it all the way from 1983 to the present, but you have that embargo on the most recent year, so anything published in 2020 or 2019 isn't going to be available yet. So this is where you want to look at, if you have multiple options, look at the full citation you're looking for previously. So we know we're looking for 2018, volume 60, issue 3-4. Make sure the database you're clicking on has access to that. You want to make sure, even if you only have one option, it doesn't know I'm looking for 2018. It just says this is just looking by title. So you want to make sure you're looking at something that will have 2018. So this EBSCO host MLA will have that. Also this, if it doesn't have an end range, if it just says from this, it means it goes up to the present issue. So you also have it in this Taylor and Francis Social Science collection. So you have multiple ways to get to that. Once you're then clicking on a title, you get kind of the journal description within the database. And so many of these will then offer, okay, I have access within a specific database, so I can search within it. EBSCO host, click on that full text, and that way then you see you're doing a limited search. It's already filling in this top line of we're looking for this specific journal. So that's where you could then say Chasing Foxes and do a search. That one's not bringing it up. So sometimes if it doesn't bring it up, going on to this Taylor and Francis, which is where I'm accessing it, brings a different one. Most of the time it's going to come up with a list of issues. So I know I'm looking for volume 60. So 2018, I knew it was issue 3-4. And so that's going to bring you up all of the articles that were published in that one issue of that journal. And I can just scroll down and scroll through until you get to the full text and you click on it and then there's your full text. So best way, if you have a full citation that tells you the author, the article title, the journal title, volume, issue, year, and date, and you're looking for how do I access the full text of that article, best way to do that is to look to see if the library has that specific journal. So by doing this journal search within Primo, so a little tab up there, and then going to which database has the journal. And that way, that's how you get to the full text. Got another video talking about a few other resources we have.